Hi everyone, and welcome to the next installment of this running strength and conditioning class from the Sport Science Instute of South Africa together with Total Sports. Hope you're all doing well this morning. Right, we're going to start off with our warm-up for today, standing up. We're going to go into chasing the chickens. So chasing chickens with your one leg forward, toes up, swooping down as low as you can, other leg forward, swooping down as low as you can. Make sure that you're hinging your hips back with your lower back straight, and then swooping down, reaching as low as you can towards your ankle, alternating legs. So you go for 10 on each side. Gradually try to get lower down as you go. And last one. Going into kickouts, opposite foot kicking up towards your opposite hand. Make sure you're not extending into your back. Okay, 5 per side. Good. Then standing on your one leg, slightly bend that knee. With the other leg, we're doing lateral leg swings, so across your body and out to the side. Try and keep your torso and your standing leg completely stable. Going for 10 on this side and then 10 on the other side. Good, change sides. Good. From there, going into hip openers, so standing up, bring your one knee up, rotate out, kick all the way out and around in a big circle, then kick back, rotate out, up and over. 5 times on each leg. Make sure your torso stays nice and upright, you're not leaning out to the side. Up, out, kick all the way around, squeeze a glute, kicking back, rotate out and around. 2 left on this side. Try and explore as much range of motion as possible within the hip. Okay, changing sides. Last one. Good. Then sit up nice and wide, your toes pointing forward. Going into our Cossack squat, pushing your bum back and down into your one hip, then bum back and down into your other hip. So you're keeping your chest up, knee in line with your toes, 5 on each side. Okay, from there we're going to go into 5-inch rows. Now walk your hands slowly all the way out into a top plank, then push the floor away, walk yourself back up to standing. That's 2, 3 to go. And they're going to opposite toe touches. So top plank, opposite hand, opposite toe, top plank, opposite hand, opposite toe. We're doing 5 on each side. Good. Going into a 4-point position, going into alternating Supermans. So brace your core nice and tight, keep your hips level, extend your opposite arm and leg out. and control slowly down. Opposite side, controlling down, 5 on each side. Keep squeezing your belly button in, hips nice and stable. Okay, then we go up into a one-legged pike, kick your opposite leg up into the air, and bring that rear leg up into a pigeon pose, hips back, chest over. Pushing back up, same leg kicking up to the sky, coming forward, pigeon pose. You 5 on one side, 5 on the other side. Make sure your hips don't rotate out to the side, keep them facing forward. Okay, changing sides, other leg going up into the air, coming through into pigeon pose, hips back, chest over. And the last one. Good. Okay, then standing up, and we're going to go into our first working set. Okay, we're going to start off with wall glutes. You need a soft object that you can push your knee into the wall with. Okay, so standing right next to a wall, press your knee as close to the wall firmly into that soft object. Okay, so it's an isometric external rotation from the hip, pushing out into the wall, and then your knee on the wall is directly in line with the knee of the leg that's standing. Okay, keep your core tight, back nice and straight. You're going to hinge your hips back as you reach forward, and then push through your heel, squeeze your glutes and hamstrings to extend your hips forward. Okay, so you're slowly pushing your hips back and squeezing forward. We're going to be doing 10 on the one leg, 10 on the other leg. Okay, make sure standing knees also in line with your toes, it's not falling in. Hip hinge back, hinge forward. Keep pushing that inside knee firmly into the wall. And last one. 10. Good. You feel the glutes working a bit. Going to the other leg. Okay, so knee pushing out into the object, into the wall, in line with the standing knee. Slightly bend the knee. Straight back, hinge your hips back, reach your hands forward. Squeeze your bum forward. And last one. Good. Okay, from there we're going to use any unstable surface you have. Again, so you can use like a pillow or an Eric's mat, anything but unstable. We're going to go into a Y reach. Okay, so imagine that you're standing in the middle of the Y, and then the single side is going directly in front of you, and then the two upper parts of the Y are going behind you diagonally there. So you're going to reach forward and then reach diagonally to the open side and then diagonally behind you. Okay, make sure the whole time that you're sitting back into your hips, keeping the knee of the standing leg directly in line with your second toe and your chest up. Okay, so lower back nice and straight. Slow and controlled, we're going to aim for 6 rounds in each leg. Okay, so gripping into the unstable surface through your foot. Slowly sit back into your hips, reach the opposite forefoot forward, touch, come back up to standing. Sit back into your hips again, reach diagonally on the one side, come back up to standing, and then diagonally in the other direction, touch, back up to standing. And knee nice and straight the whole time. That's one down, with 5 rounds to go. Slow and controlled, keep sitting back into your hip. Keeping the knee nice and straight. Good, that's 5, or 1 left. Good, and relax. Changing legs, and grip into the mat, the whole foot. Sit back into your hips, reach forward with the opposite forefoot, touch. Sit back into the hips, reach diagonally to the open side, touch. And then diagonally behind you in a curtsy position, and up. That's 1. Three, halfway. Keep sitting back into the hips. Keeping the knee nice and straight for every rep. And hips facing forward the whole time. Last round. And relax. Well done. Okay, one more round of those 2. Starting with our wall glutes. So place a soft object on the wall, push that inside knee firmly out into the wall. Okay, directly in line with your standing knee. Straight back, core tight. Hinge your hips back, reach forward. Squeeze your hips forward. 10 per leg. Nine, got 1 left. 10. Good, changing sides. Okay, push firmly into the wall, chest up, back straight. Hinge your hips back, reach forward, squeeze your bum forward. Last 2. And relax. Good. The glutes should be well activated by now. Going back to our Y reach on the unstable surface if you can. Okay, and we're gripping it into the surface through your whole foot, especially your toes, keeping the arch prominent. Sit slowly back into your hips, knee in line with your toes. Reach in front, come back up. Reach diagonally to the open side, come back up, and diagonally behind. Touch and back up. That's 1. 2, 4, 2 more rounds. Last round. And up. Good. Changing sides. Two more rounds. Keep the knee nice and straight and line the toes. Keep slowly contracting back into your hips, just lightly touching the reaching foot on the ground. And relax. Okay, great work. Now we need a light object. Okay, we're going to be doing single leg deadlifts. Okay, we're going for 12 reps in each leg, so the weight should be relatively light. Okay, you're going to hold this in the opposite hand, so the leg is on the floor. Okay, grip into the ground through your whole foot, especially your big toe. Slightly bend the knee. Okay, from there, you're going to focus on keeping your lower back straight, core nice and tight, hinging your hips slowly back, controlling the weight down to mid-shin. Pushing through your foot into the floor, squeezing your hips forward, opposite knee coming through. Okay, just focus on the mechanics, just keeping your hips well aligned, straight line between your ankle, your knee and your hip. Okay, and your lower back nice and straight. Okay, slowly controlling down, hinging your hips back, squeeze the hips forward. That's 1, 2, 3, we'll make sure that the hip of the leg that's moving is not rotating out to the side. Okay, make sure it's nice and lined with the standing hip. Keep facing forward. 5 to go. And last one. Good. Changing sides. Again, slightly bend the knee of the standing leg. Grip into the ground for your foot, especially your big toe. Rotate the knee slightly out from the hip. Hinge your hips back. Kick your non-standing leg back. Control the weight to mid-shin. Squeeze the hips forward. Six, halfway. Make sure the hips stay nice and aligned, facing forward. And last one. And relax. Great job. Okay, from there you're going to need a chair or bench, something similar. It's around about knee height. If you can go lower, you can go a little lower. If you need a little bit more height, just add a pillow on top of the bench or chair or couch. Okay, we're doing single leg sit to stands, also 12 on each side. Standing in front of the chair on one leg. You're going to slowly sit back into your hips, absorbing your load into your glutes and hamstrings, controlling slowly down. And so you're sitting the whole time, making sure that your knee stays in line with your ankle and the hip. Drive through your whole foot into the ground, squeeze your hips forward, and again slowly control back down. Okay, going 4, 12 on each side. That's 4. Slowly sitting back into the hips. Make sure that your ankle or heel is not leaving the floor. And your knee is not coming far forward. 7. 10, I've got 2 left. 12. Good, well done. Changing sides. In gripping to the ground through your foot. Hips nice and stable, core tight. Slowly sit back into your hips, keeping your heel flat. Drive through your foot, squeeze your hips forward. Six, halfway. 11, going for our last one. 12, good. Okay, job. Right, we're doing one more set of those two. So grabbing your light weight, holding it in the opposite hand, the leg on the floor, and now we're focusing again on the hip hinge pattern. Slightly bend the standing leg, hinge your hips slowly back, kick your non-standing leg back, control down to mid-shin, push through the floor, squeeze your hips forward. Keep the hips nice and stable, core tight, back straight. So you're keeping tension in the shoulder, holding the object, so it's not pulling your shoulder down. Last two. 12. Great job. Should be feeling your intrinsic foot muscles underneath the foot working. Okay, onto the other side. Slightly bend the knee. Hinge your hips back, controlling down to mid-shin. Push into the floor, squeeze forward. Good, 3 to go. And last one. And relax. Great job. Grabbing your chair or bench, going back to the single leg sit to stands. Okay, standing just in front on your one leg. Straight line between your ankle, your knee and your hip. Grip into the ground. Slowly sit back into your hips, controlling yourself down. Push into the floor, squeeze your bum forward. Okay, keep the knee in line with your toes the whole time. Halfway. Okay, last two. Keep your form, keep your alignment as you start getting tired. Good. Changing sides. Good, it's halfway, keep it up. Keep the hips nice and stable. Keep squeezing through your glutes and hamstrings to come up, and sitting back into your glutes and hamstrings to absorb the load. Going for our last one. And relax. Good. Alright, from there we go into the conditioning piece. Okay, so you need to have two objects that you can place your feet on. Now, a slider walk. Okay, slide along your floor. For example, you can wear plastic packets on your feet, or you can place your feet on cloths. Or you can just wear socks if you have a nice slidable floor, and place your socks on cloths if you need to get a bit more, or get rid of a bit more friction. Okay, I'm using gliders on a nice slidable surface. Okay, so we're going to be moving nice and quick. We're going to start off with hamstring gliders. So for that, you're going to be lying down on the floor with your heels on top of the slidable object. Okay, hips up, and then you're going to slide out and back in. A nice fluid movement, try and get all the way out. As much range of motion as you can before sliding back in. Okay, and that's going to be 25 on each leg. Then coming up, doing a similar thing with the mountain climbers. Okay, so you have your feet on the gliders. Okay, and forward and back, kicking along the floor. So as you slide, push into the floor. Keep your hips nice and stable, and your hands directly beneath your shoulders. Working nice and quick, getting your knee high, kicking all the way back. Also 25 per leg. From there we're going to come up and grab two light objects. Okay, we're doing thrusters. Okay, so the weights are going to be on your shoulders. It's going to be a full squat down, sitting back into your hips, knees in line with your toes. Push the floor away explosively, driving up to full extension overhead, controlling back down, squat. Explosive drive up, hips locking out, knees locking out, ankles locking out. Okay, so full triple extension. And then the last one being lateral hops. Okay, so from one leg, slight bend in the knee, sitting back into your bum, exploding out to the opposite side, absorbing the impact by pushing your bum back, hopping back to the first side. Okay, so make sure you're stabilizing each time that you land, bum going back, knees staying in line with your toes. Right, so we move through all 4 exercises quite swiftly, have a break, then go through it again. Okay, so we're going to start off with the hamstring gliders. Okay, so heels down, toes up, bridge up, you're going to slide all the way out and back in, nice and quick, 25 per side. Keep squeezing your hips up. Good. And there, turning over, going into our mountain climbers. Okay, so toes on the glidable surfaces. Okay, hands beneath your shoulders, core tight, hips stable, up high, kicking back. Good. Okay, nice work. Then standing up, grabbing your weights, light objects, going into thrusters. So weights in your shoulders, full squat down, jog up, that's 1. Use your legs as much as you can. Last 2. 12, good. Going to our lateral hops, 15 per leg. One leg hops the other leg, hips back and back. Hop as far as you can and absorb the landing into your hips. That's 4. Last 2 each side. And relax. Good. Whew, grab some water. We're going to do that for 1 more set. Right. We're going to start again with our hamstring gliders, lying on your back, heels on the gliders, toes up, brace the stomach nice and tight, squeeze your bum up, and we're controlling out and back in. Good. Whew, great job. Turning over, going into mountain climbers. Okay, hands directly beneath your shoulders, toes on the gliders, core nice and tight, hips stable, and going knees high, kicking back. Good. Okay, standing up, grabbing your light objects, going into thrusters, toes pointing forward, straight line between your ankles, your knees and your hips, chest up, core tight, sit back into your squat, explosive drive up, full extension at the top. Last 2. 12. Well done. Last one, going to our lateral hops. Standing on one leg, bend the leg, hop to the opposite side, cushion the impact, and hop back. That's 5. Keep sitting back into your hips as you land, keeping the knee in line with the toes. Last one each, and relax. Great job. Okay, from there we're just going to go into our cool down stretch. Well done. Okay, we're going to start lying down. Take your one knee across your body, pull as close to the ground as you can, and reach your opposite arm to the side. Change sides. Come back to the middle, place one foot on your opposite knee, grab behind the thigh, pulling back towards your body. Try to keep your lower back flat. Change sides. Good, sitting up. Forward, reach your one leg forward, bend the other leg, press the foot into your thigh, reach your one hand forward towards your toes, and take your opposite hand over and across, also towards that foot. Keep pushing your bum down. Change sides, other leg straight out. Reach towards your foot. Outside hand coming over and across. Good. Cross your legs in the middle. Keep your chest up, turn towards your left knee, and reach as far as you can with your hands, especially your right hand, reaching as far as you can, pushing your right buttock down. Come back up, and turn towards your right knee, and reach as far as you can in that direction, especially with your left arm, pushing your left buttock down. Coming back up, facing forward, and again folding forward, reaching your hand as far as you can, pushing your bum down. Coming up into a lunge, one leg forward, opposite leg behind, push firmly into the ground, push your hips forward, reach the same hand up as your back leg, and lean to the side of your front leg. Good, take that hand, grab your foot behind you and pull it towards your bum as you sit back your chest and your hips going back towards the heel. Slowly relax and change sides. Other leg forward, back leg pushing into the ground, press your hips forward, reach the same hand up as your back leg and lean to the side of your front leg. Take the hand that's up, grab your foot behind you, pull the heel towards your bum and press your hips back. Slowly relax, going up into a downward dog. Push your head through your shoulders. Push your heels towards the ground. Straighten the legs as much as you can. Take your one foot onto your opposite heel, pushing down to the ground. Change sides. Okay, slowly relax your knees down to the ground, drop your hips to the floor, squeeze your bum, keep your core tight, push actively into the floor and raise your chest up as you push your hips forward, stretching out your hip flexors. Slowly push your hips back, take your knees a bit out to the side, feet together, bum back, and reach your hands forward. Slowly come up, and you're done. Alright, well done. Thanks very much for joining, guys. Have a fantastic week, and I hope to see you again next week Monday. Enjoy.